Most developers spend weeks building an app from scratch, but what if you could prompt a full-stack prototype into existence in minutes? It's possible, but there is a catch. The AI magic usually breaks the moment you hit the backend. Authentication fails, database rules and Genkit errors block you. Welcome to Vibe Coding with Google Firebase, a complete no-code to advanced AI application development course. I'm going to show you how to bypass those failed preconditions and use secret visual prompting techniques to synchronize your front end and back end perfectly. Let's get to it.
We can open in a new web page to see the full details. Okay, and it requires us to sign in, which is a good security validation. Signing in here, make sure before it shows you a journal entry, it should match your sign-in account. We have our entry displayed here. We can as well see the tags below. Let's add another entry. In order to fit the journal enough data so that we can later use to track total entries, emotions, track average sentiment, we need to enter a few more entries. And notice, after adding a new entry and we visit the dashboard, it doesn't show the entry history. So we need to look into that and make sure the functionality is active to retain each entry. We can screenshot this page. We go back to the prototyper and refresh. Here I'm telling the prototyper, after adding the entry, the added entry disappears on page refresh and it does not show in the dashboard tab under total entries count and other related section. Here is the dashboard tab I'm talking about. We attach the screenshot for it to best understand the prompt. We add new entry again and see how it goes. So here it says, fail to create journal entry. Check the browser console for details. So we check the console. So it says Genkit error, failed precondition. Please pass in the API key or set Gemini API key or Google API key environment variable. At this point, we should add a Gemini API key because of some AI analysis to be done. After adding the key, you will need to restart your development server for the changes to take effect. Once you do that, all the AI features in the app will be powered by Gemini. Next thing is getting our Gemini API key. So it has provided us with a link. We visit the link to get the API key. It already brings us a pop-up to get API key. It says, Google AI Studio is the safest way to start exploring and building with Gemini. Our next generation family of multimodal generative AI models. Test prompts, get an API key, and go build. We have to consent. In the top right corner, we have the button here, create API key. Click on the button and it says select a project from your existing Google Cloud projects. And once you click in the search box here, it shows up your recently created projects. Create API key in existing project. It is generating API key. And here we have our new API key and it says use your API key securely. Do not share or embed them in code the public can view. As requested in our project, we go to the .environment.local file and paste the API key. So we switch to code mode in order to view the .environment.local file. Here we have .environment.local file and where to paste in our Gemini API key. After making that update, we'll let the prototyper know we have made the update as requested. This API key is very important because this is the gateway to use Gemini into our application for AI related tasks. So it says, excellent, thank you for adding the Gemini API key. That was the final piece of the puzzle. With the key now in place, the AI flows that analyze your journal entries for mood sentiment should be fully operational, combined with the client-side approach we implemented for the new entry form. You should now have a smooth and error-free experience. Please go ahead and try creating new journal entry. I'm confident it will now save correctly to your database and include all AI-powered insights. So we'll give it a go. We ran into an error and we checked our console. So in the console, it says Firebase error, missing or insufficient permissions, which is a good step, showing it is actually trying to request from the database right now. So we just have to give it the missing permissions. Here I'll click fix error, clarifying rules requirement. To fix this, I will provide a new Firestore rules file with the correct security configuration. These rules will allow an authenticated user to read and write only their own journal entries, ensuring their data remains private and secure, which properly aligns with our purpose for securing this journal app. First, we locate the firestore.rules file that has just been created, and we copy all the text located here. We go to Firebase console and select this project and proceed with the next step. Firestore database, and on the rules tab, and we make the update. So we paste and publish. Publish changes can take up to a minute to propagate. We let it know we have made the changes and published. Let's refresh the app and retry. It says entry safe, your thoughts are safe with us. And just like magic, we can see total entries, reflections recorded 1, emotions tracked, 3 unique feelings identified, average sentiment very positive based on 1 AI analyzed entry. Here we have even more details. Authentication and data model for my private journal app. That is the title, the date, the content, and now the mood. It says positive and productive, reflecting successful technical progress on the app's foundation. Then it provides our tasks, and it adds even more tasks reflecting the information we just entered. You can see a demarcation in the highlight. These are the tasks we included, and these are the new generated tasks based on its analysis of the content we just input in the new entry. And that's magic. So let's view in a separate browser page. And there we go. Everything now is consistent. It makes sure to save each entry properly. Here we can notice it creates the card showing a summary of the entry we just added, but it just shows the caption. It doesn't show the full entry. So let's give it a functionality where when you click on each card, it pops up and you can read the full details, and you can as well close the tab. We screenshot our user interface and explain to it. We can use a marker to highlight just the exact region we want the prototyper to focus on. So now we go back to the prototyper. First, let it know everything is working fine. Persistent here means after closing the tab or opening the application on another tab, it makes sure to carry along your progress made on each tab for the current logged in user. Because previously, when you open a new tab, it forgets the previous state. What I'm explaining here aligns with what we earlier mentioned in the theoretical part of the course before we move to this practical project, talking about session management and persistence. Also, new entry has been added and is persistent. We wait for its response before we proceed to tell it the new features we want to be active. So a response, this is fantastic news. I am so relieved to hear that everything is finally working as expected. Thank you for your incredible patience and for walking through all those steps with me. I know it was a frustrating process and I truly appreciate you sticking with it. Now that the core entry feature is solid and persistent, what would you like to work on next? I'm ready for your next idea. Exactly what we intended. After telling it the progress we have made, we now proceed to the next feature. We simply tell it what we intend to achieve. I'm telling the prototyper, in the dashboard showing entries, the various entries are summarized into cards. I want a feature to be added where I can click on each card and it will pop up showing full detailed entry, and I should also be able to close the pop-up after reading entry. So we submit and let it proceed working even more magic. It's saying it will create a new component. This component will be responsible for rendering the pop-up with the full details of a journal entry, including the title, date, full content, and all associated tags and emotion. So we check it out. And there we have it, a very decent and organized user interface. I'll hand it to you, Firebase. So we have the title, the date, our entry, the mode, and various tags. Currently, you might be wondering why it is important to have these tags. So this tag serves as a reference point where you can search your various entries over long term to know entries related to certain topics. Like you may want to go back to an entry related to productivity, for example, or related to focus, accomplishment, Firestore, or something. And now it will be much easier for you to track all the entries related to such tags. And you can just input the tag right here, search entries by keyword or tag, and you display all the entries related to the tag you did input. We'll add more entries so that we can best utilize the various features and enjoy how they operate. Adding more entries should be easy. We just go to Gemini and request it to give us even more entries. So here's the prompt I'm giving Gemini. So I say provide 10 short sample entries I can add into my journal. Random topics. Entries should have title, detail, and tags. And here we have it. I'll just copy and paste all the 10 entries. Then we continue from there. So here, our 10 entries have been added. We initially had one entry and we have added 10 more entries with the help of Gemini. With these 11 total entries we have, Gemini could track 28 unique feelings identified under the emotions track. Average sentiment, very positive based on all 11 analyzed entries. So it gives you details on entries tracked so that you quite understand the volume of entries that have currently been tracked so that you make sure it has not missed out on any entry. So you see total entries 11 and average sentiment very positive based on 11 analyzed entries. We have random entries here from different topics. Like I'll just read some of the topics so you can understand how random they are, aligning with how someone's daily life and long-term experiences can be, how they can vary. An act of kindness. This one is a little unexpected. So it says, a stranger in the grocery store helped me reach something on the top shelf that I couldn't get. It was a small gesture, but it made me feel connected and reminded me how a simple act of kindness can make a difference in someone's day. Wow, really sounds emotional for an AI-generated experience. Coffee shop vibe, a strange dream. Okay, let's see this. I had a really bizarre dream last night that I was trying to teach my cat how to skateboard. She was surprisingly good at it and we were racing through a park. I woke up laughing, really worth laughing. So it just tries to mimic how different experiences can be gotten from one's daily life. Good to go. We proceed. We look into the third tab. Currently we have the dashboard, we have the new entry that are both working just fine. Now we'll implement the mood trends. It has loaded and it has brought up our mood trends. It shows various trends based on different tags and emotion. Mood trends visualize your emotional journey over time. What is going on in this graph is it shows how frequent some certain trends occur, like satisfaction, frequency 2, joy, frequency 2, enjoyment, frequency 2, connected, grateful, 1111. Over time, as you keep inputting new entries, it readjusts itself. It also shows your sentiment over time, your emotional sentiment trend based on journal entries. It actually plots a graph showing different sentiments and also showing the date. I think this is pretty awesome. At this point, we will test out the various features as we intended. We intended to add a secure authentication, private journaling, user-centric data storage, strict security rules, account management, and achieving this via Google Sign-in, email and password authentication, Firestore security rules, and user management. I will start again to log in as a new user and let's see how it will react to different scenarios. First, I'll log out. I'll try to log in as a user that is not existing so that we see how it will react when you are trying to sign in with a user that is not existing. Then from there we can sign up actually with the new user. Login failed. So since we are still in the build process, it just shows us authentication invalid credential. So it means it doesn't recognize this person we are trying to log in as, which is good. We have understood it has not seen this user and it is acting right. It doesn't just log in anyone to any other person's profile without making a strict verification. Now we'll actually sign up this user. Sign up. Okay, so here, this is a new user, and the user starts with a clean dashboard, no entries, no emotion track, no average sentiment, meaning it makes sure an authenticated user can read, write, or make changes into their journal, and you cannot do so with someone else's journal. We log out and log in again as a registered user with entries. We log in again as the user we were previously using. And voila, there we go. We can see our history from the previous user progress we made. At this point, our secure authentication is working just fine. Our private journaling is working just fine. Our entries are very private, and a different user cannot intrude into another user's entries. We have user-centric data storage. The app uses Firebase Firestore to store data in a highly secured way. All journal entries are linked directly to the user who created them using their unique Firebase user ID. Talking now about user account management, a feature where a user could add and update their profile picture or maybe even delete their account to make it more welcoming, personal, and customized. So like we did before, we will grab a screenshot. I'm marking this section to show Firebase exactly where the user's profile picture should be added or should be displayed after the user adds a profile picture. Here is the prompt for the update. In between the app name and the navigation tabs, the dashboard, add a feature a user can update their profile picture and username below the profile picture. About this dashboard showing us one entry, this is just because we haven't refreshed this tab. The updates we have made is in the new tab we did open. So when we refresh this application interface, you update to the most recent updates we made. We can see the updates we made now displaying, and here the user can edit their profile. In the edit profile, user can include display name, change profile picture. Real quick, I will update a profile picture and also add a display name. For the final step, just to make things polished up, let's update our initial login page, the actual home page. Make the landing page more modern, cutting edge, state of the art UI, that is user interface. Now we can create and share a preview link so that we can view this on our mobile device, and you actually feel like this has been hosted completely. At this point, you can use your mobile device to scan the QR code, or you can copy the link. I will scan the link and open in my mobile browser. On your mobile device, you launch a camera, scan the QR code, and it takes you to a new tab, very nicely placed. Top left, we have our app name and icon or logo. We have the banner, image. We have our various cards with animation. When you tap on each card, it brings up an animation. We have a call to action and sign up button, and lastly at the bottom, we have the footer created. When we tap on get started, we get the login pop-up, and from there we can create a new user or we can sign in using our already registered account. So here we have the login interface, and at this point our app is fully complete and ready to go.
I'm delighted we made it through vibe coding this amazing app. If you learned something valuable, like this video and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to drop a question or contribution in the comments. Check out the next video on data management with Cloud Firestore and real-time database. Cheers!